Yeah, I'm recording.
Oh. All right, hey! So I just talked about fluid volume excess, and now we're gonna talk about the deficit. So that means no water, no fluids, which is sad. So that is gonna be an insufficient body of like fluids. So you could either be not getting enough water, so you're not drinking as much, or you're losing too much, so you're constantly peeing, or you can have a mixture of both. So this is gonna affect your extracellular compartment first, and then it is also gonna be more serious in infants and elderly patients, which is not good. And then I also kind of drew an arrow, so you're also gonna probably have the loss of electrolytes and protein. So for example, if you're having like diarrhea, you're losing excessive electrolytes and your protein. So that'll bring us to the causes. Causes first one, vomiting and diarrhea. There it is. We're losing our electrolytes and protein. And then like excessive sweating with loss of your sodium and water. So you're losing all that water. So like if you're going to the gym and you're constantly sweating and you're working out hard and you're not drinking water, you're losing, and you're going to eventually could run into the dehydration, which I forgot to write on here. It's dehydration. Also DKA, so diabetic ketoacidosis, which is where they're going to have like the loss of their fluid, their electrolytes, and glucose in their urine. So they're losing way more than what they're putting in, which is not good. An insufficient water take in elderly or unconscious. So in the ICU where I work with our patients that are unconscious and we have them on the vent, we also have a bag of saline hanging, because if we have them sitting there and they're constantly just getting medicine, they're getting all that other stuff, they're not able to help lose it. And then also a concentrated formula in infants. So if you give like the infant some formula and you don't kind of balance it out with the formula and the water, they could have that dehydration as well. So that'll put us into the effects. So with the effects, we can have the dry mucus in our, like the mucous membrane in our mouth, so that can lead to dry skin. A decrease in your skin elasticity. So like with my skin, I can pinch it and pull up and it immediately goes back down. That's how you know I'm not dehydrated. If someone were to be dehydrated, when you pinch their skin, it's gonna stay up. They're gonna have a low blood pressure, a weak pulse, they're gonna be fatigued. So if you think about when you're not, you can tell when you're not having enough water. With me, I'm gonna be tired. I'm not gonna have as much energy. I'm sure my blood pressure is probably gonna be low as well. You'll have an increase in your hematocrit, which we'll get into that part later. And then a decrease in mental function. So they could have confusion or loss of consciousness, which is not good. And then now we can talk about how to compensate for it and how to get us back to where we want to be. So we're going to have an increase in thirst, and as we had talked about, your hypothalamus is going to send that thirst receptor out because we need more. We need more water, our blood pressure's going down, our heart rate's going down. So that was also one. We're going to want to increase our blood pressure, and these two are mainly going to be by this big one right here. We're going to have a constriction in our cutaneous blood vessels. So we talked about that previously. So once we can get that ADH, we can get the aldosterone, we can get that constriction, we can then get more fluid, we can increase our blood pressure, increase our heart rate, and that is good. And that's where producing less urine comes in. We had that ADH, which it's gonna be the antidiuretic, so we're not gonna be able to pee. And that's what we want. We want to be able to hold on to that water to make up for everything that we have lost. So this is dehydration. Thank you for listening.